where I want to bring my book, the sales algorithm, which you read and are reading, and you kind of, it resonated with what Voltastic is doing today, and more specifically, if I have to say, helped you think about building a structured, scalable, kind of a methodology for business, more in the partner landscape. So, anything you want to talk on that? I mean, what really changed when you started reading the book?
Actually, it's a wonderful book. It's like, it's a, very, very useful. And I mean, for somebody who's actually gone through, the practice, of actually going and trying to sell and all that, he will kind of, it'll almost be like, oh man, yeah, I have gone through these situations. Okay, this is exactly what I have missed. Okay, so it's like capturing, you will connect so easily with this book if you have actually done any amount of sale, right?
Correct.
And especially if you've been, in sales for long, you would connect, with almost everything in this book, right? So for me, the book is kind of a checklist, right? So of what, needs to be done in order to build a, sales system. And I'll just, come to that in a very, shortly. That it's not just the sales system that we want to build, with partners and all that, Even in the, current one-on-one sales that, the process that we go through, we are wasting a lot of time, right? There is a lot of waste. And even though it is completely people-driven, right? The people also need to be having like a personal system, a personal sales system, right?
Correct.
To make them efficient and more scalable and effective, right? So there is a lot that is there in this book about, how you can organize yourself. And if you really look at it, sales is, in essence, sales is about communicating better.
Yes.
Right? I mean, how do you communicate better? And that doesn't mean...
One of the main core ingredient of sale is communication.
Yes. And that doesn't mean, slick talk, right? So, again and again in this book, one of the things that you how do you grow your understanding of the customer?
Correct.
Right? What is the problem that he's facing? What will excite him? What is the kind of business he is in, right? What is the kind of buying process that these people go? Who's the buyer? Who's the decision maker, right? Because in a B2B, you don't have a single buyer, right?
Absolutely.
Like in a consumer space. There are
Absolutely.
3 people who are making a decision. Anyone can say no.
Correct. My biggest point while writing the book is you spend a lot of your time discussing with one persona in the customer, and at the end realize that there are 2-3 personas sitting out there who are going to sign the PO, and you have not even had a face-to-face meeting with them. So that is where the problem starts. In selling, that's where it fails. So you're very right about that. So
to give an example of what often happens to us is that we are pitching to the CIO or risk officer, and he's very convinced, right? He's saying, oh, this is great. Okay, this is exactly what I want. And then he brings in his IT manager saying that, why don't you evaluate? And that guy puts the spanner in the works, right? Because, he thinks, oh, this is more work for me, or,
obviously that
or
thinking,
I have
the organizational thinking is not so much, it's more, at his level that he
is thinking at his level, right? So
correct.
Each one is actually thinking at his level, right? And that's the map that you are trying to, build out for the reader here, that understand that, the chief risk officer and the CFO and the IT manager are going to be thinking differently. And then do you have the right things to, say to them, right? Which will come from, understanding what is their, what is it that actually, drives their thinking, right?
Yes.
Where are they leaning,
Yeah,
in what
absolutely.
direction, right?
Absolutely.
So unless you understand that, you will not actually be able to communicate well. And I'm saying that because you can be all over the place while, talking about your product, it actually makes for very inefficient selling, right?
Yes.
So one of the problems with, a lot of founders, and especially like, people like us, is that we fall in love with what we have created.
Correct.
And we go on talking about how beautiful, it is whatever we have created. And the customer doesn't care a damn about what,
Absolutely. You have to flip the story.
who you are, he doesn't care. What you created and how fantastic it is, it doesn't matter. Okay. Are you talking, about his interests?
Absolutely.
And that is where, this book is a very strong reminder saying that, have you, so, this realization is there in us, but what this book actually does is it helps you, cover the bases,
Bring the
right?
whole
It says, okay,
perspective
fine.
together.
Are you missing this? Are you missing this? Are you
Absolutely.
missing this? Check,
Yeah.
right? Huh? So
Very nicely said.
that is where, this is. So, talking about checklists, actually, we are like great fans of checklists. And one of the, things that you do in this book is that you actually lay out a map or a path
Yeah.
of how the engagement progresses with a customer, right? And the checklist at each stage is going to be different. Right?
Absolutely.
When he is, in fact, one very beautiful thing that you talk about in this book is you come to a point where the customer has done, he's had a look at the product and everything, and then he has his objections, right? And one of the things that you are saying is that objections are actually questions.
Correct. Correct.
So they are, so
Reframe the objection into a question.
yeah. So why I was very kind of, taken by this statement is because, for a normal sales guy, when the objection comes, he starts feeling like a fraud. He starts feeling like a pretender. Okay, saying, अरे I keep telling my sales people, look, अरे हम लोग चोरी करने नहीं जा रहे, उसका हम लोग pocket मारने नहीं जा रहे.
Exactly.
Okay, we are giving him value, but if you are not prepared, okay, with, okay, these are the objections that I have faced in the past, these are the likely objections that will come, and what are my answers to it, you are going to get stumped
Succumb to that.
you're going to be stumped by the objections that the customer puts in, right?
Absolutely.